The Palworld official servers are costing Pocketpair a pretty penny, so much so that if the rates actually stay the same, they are looking at an annual cost of nearly $6 million. Is this even a sustainable number, or could this potentially be something that runs out the profits that Palworld has generated? Also, what if anything could be done to fix it? I'm going to dive into my opinions on all of that. But first, let's get this video started off by talking about what the lead network engineer for the company had to say, which was, and I quote, "Following the order to never let the service go down, no matter what, we have prepared servers without regard to cost. We will continue to give our all to ensure that all players can enjoy Palworld to the fullest." Followed by a whopping server price tag of $478,000. This also leads me to a tweet from the CEO of Pocketpair where he jokingly states that Palworld may actually go bankrupt due to the server fees, which are upwards of 70 million yen, or around $478,000. If this cost managed to carry on for a 12-month period, they would be looking at having spent $5,736,000, which is wild. But let's take into consideration Palworld's sales, which are insane in themselves. On Steam alone, the game has already sold 12 million copies, and Palworld has secured the biggest third-party launch on Xbox Games Pass. So Palworld and Pocketpair are making money hand over fist. How much, though, we can only really speculate because of the Steam sale that went on. But for argument's sake, let's go ahead and say 6 million copies sold at full price. I think that's fair. In all reality, it's probably more than that, but let's go ahead and keep it a conservative 6 million at full price, which is $179 million. This game has made a boatload of money, which is clearly why the CEO said this in jest, that the server costs would bankrupt Pocketpair. Clearly, that's not going to happen. And what really I think this goes to show is that all of these new releases with server stability that is complete and total garbage, queues for days, server crashes galore, yeah, what it tells me is that those companies are cutting costs on servers, which is why launch day is typically terrible. With Palworld, though, the official servers on launch day were smoother than I could have ever expected. They went down only briefly, I believe. I was sleeping at the time, and they've been up constantly ever since. So with Pocketpair coming out of pocket to cover these servers in a way that keeps them online constantly, really is commendable. It is stupid. Okay, it's stupid, but it's commendable. And before you get offended, let me explain why, for several reasons, this is stupid. Official servers right now are plagued with cheaters. You cannot go longer than 24 hours without a cheater popping into your server and wiping out everyone's bases, wiping out everybody's pals, chasing you down and tagging a rocket launcher to your rear end. These hackers are everywhere. It truly is the wild, wild west out there. And you are telling me that Pocketpair spent $478,000 to keep that running? Nah, please spend $500,000 on an anti-cheat so we can get rid of some of these insane cheaters, because the official servers and the community servers are the lifeblood of these types of games. But that literally all falls apart when the cheaters are able to spawn in items that aren't even in the game yet, or can even drop fake ban hammers on players. It's absolutely wild what they are getting away with. And if I was Pocketpair, I would cut it off immediately until we had a handle on that problem. I made a video not too long ago talking about the problem, and in the comments of that video, every day I see people complaining that their servers are getting wiped. It's almost every hour I get a new comment of somebody complaining how their server just got wiped by a hacker. It's absolutely wild. I would shut the servers down until it's handled. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. Aside from that, though, I did want to throw out a few ideas on how they could possibly lower the server costs. And I want to point out that I know very little about how or why server cost increases. So I'm really just speculating here. Let me know what you think could help down in the comments. But I think that the first thing that they should do is up the player cap. I'm thinking more players allowed in each server means less servers required in general. The map in Palworld is actually massive, and I think it could support 200 players even. Whether or not it could support the 200 players with all of their pals out, that's another thing. But even if they up the player cap to say 100 players, that more than triples the amount of cap we have now, which would drastically cut back on the amount of servers needed. Another thing that I think would really help with this is the launch of PvP. I think that once PvP launches, we will see an uptick in the community-driven servers. Community servers thrive on competition, and the best method of competition is PvP. But it's not only that, because the longer that the game is out, the better quality of mods that will become available, which also can lead to some very interesting community server possibilities. And when those start popping up and getting popular, they could cut back on the number of official servers that they run. Again, I think we need a little bit of a bump in the player cap per server to get these community servers to a place where there's enough competition, if you will. Let me know down in the comments how many players you think it would require for you to be interested in a community server competition base. I know Rust can run off of like 200, right? So that's kind of where I get the 200 number, because if you get a fully packed Rust server, the competition is wild. But even on some of the solo community servers I've played on Rust, you know, you get 70 players running solo, it can be just as wild. All in all though, 478,000 per month on servers is absolutely insane, but it does not cut into the overall profit that Palworld has generated, not even close. Hopefully we can get some solid anti-cheat in the game so we can actually enjoy the official servers that they're paying so much for. But that's all the info that I wanted to go over in this video. I'm out.